Hey, what's up, guys? It's Pep Fernandez from the Inland Sports Show. Just a quick programming note. In the next couple of weeks and months, we're really going to put a focus on the Inland Sports YouTube channel. We got several thousand subscribers. We have over 1 million views. We're uploading new videos each and every week. So we're really going to point you guys, everyone who follows the Inland Sports Show, to the Inland Sports YouTube channel. We will still post on Instagram and Twitter. We're going to post a lot of pictures, maybe some shorter videos, but we really want to put an emphasis on the YouTube channel. So here's what we need from you guys. If you haven't done so already, make sure you are subscribed to the Inland Sports YouTube channel and give us a big thumbs up when you watch our videos. We'd really appreciate it. If you've subscribed, maybe tell your teammates, other kids at school, other coaches on your coaching staff, your parents, your grandparents. We'd really appreciate the more subscribers, the better. So subscribe and give us a like. And if you want to take it even further, there's now a thanks button at the bottom as well if you'd like to take your support to the next level and make a small donation so we can continue to bring you great sports coverage here in the Inland Empire. And what is up, everyone? Welcome to the Inland Sports Show. We are live and amplified on a Wednesday night here at Teen Vision TV 16. My name is Pep Fernandez. Johnny Nunez, our director behind the scenes here, and we're going to talk a lot of high school football on this show as we get set for the quarterfinals. We still have, I think in our Inland Sports Show coverage area, I think we've got 22 games featuring local teams still in the hunt for CIF Southern Section Championship. So we'll also talk Cal Baptist women's basketball a little bit later in the show as we go inside the Lancers. We're also going to talk with Vista Murrieta volleyball, your CIF Division 2 champions, and just won a huge state playoff game last night. They will join us on the show live. But we start with some high school foosball, and these guys won in the opening round in a dramatic win against Quartz Hill. He is the head coach at Hillcrest High School. It is the great Travis Carter. And Coach, listen, I know you're still a younger guy, but you've been around football a long time. That win against Quartz Hill in double OT, where does that rank about in games that you've played or coached in?
Oh, it's, I mean, first of all, thanks for having me, Pep. But yeah, that game, it's definitely right up there, if not number one, definitely top two. Just, dramatic, could have came down to, basically who was going to have the ball last, and, a couple bounces went our way, and our kids kept fighting and kept clawing, and they didn't give up. So it was definitely exciting. We've had a few of those this year. But yeah, it's exciting time. And, obviously our kids are just, happier than ever that, they get to extend this thing and keep working.
Yeah, there's not a lot of teams playing this late into the season. Keep shrinking week by week. Of teams advancing. But Coach, when I think of the River Valley League, I think of like these great running backs and run-heavy teams and offensive lines. But you're changing my whole thought process on the RVL, because I feel like maybe you guys are more leaning on the pass, or maybe it's more balanced now. But man, you guys can throw the football. You've got some great receivers and a great quarterback.
Yeah, we've kind of since league play started, we've been, kind of hitting on all cylinders offensively. Our quarterback's been playing great, Jason Flores. Obviously, he's stepped up tremendously this year. You mentioned we got, two good receivers, but also really, four guys that do their job all the time and are very selfless. Just, want to do what's best for the team and not really concerned with who gets the ball or who gets the credit. And then we've had, two running backs step up. We had 200-yard rushers last week as well, and Jalen Bailey and Matthew Klein. And obviously for that to happen, our offensive line's got to be playing outstanding. And we've had to shuffle some guys around up there with injuries and stuff like that, but they've stepped up and, really done a nice job. And, I'm proud of those guys as well, especially, our center, Christian Benitez. He's just been kind of the heart and soul of our offense all year and kind of led us up front. But, we're excited. We're hopefully we can keep it rolling into next week.
All right, speaking of next week, which is this Friday in the quarterfinals, you go on the road to Diamond Bar. What do we know about Diamond Bar? Without giving away all your secrets, what do you think this matchup's going to look like for the Trojans?
Yeah, well, I mean, Diamond Bar is obviously a really good football team. You don't get to 10-1 by mistake. And then they got better last week because they got a quarterback come back who's, he threw 5 touchdowns last game, and he's a pretty good player. So they got weapons too. They got good receivers, good little running back that's, shifty, hard to tackle, runs hard. They got athletes on defense. They're well coached, and, their kids play hard. So it's gonna be a battle, and I think it's gonna be one that, comes down to 4 quarters, and, whatever team's more physical, and we're excited for it. We're ready.
Coach, we talked about this before on Riverside TV, but, you had a tough non-league schedule. You had Orange Vista in there. You obviously had that game with Talkwitz that went down to the wire. Those non-league games, did you feel like it kind of got you battle-tested and battle-ready? I know you saw Ramona and, of course, Patriot, Novi. Those were all good games in league play, too. But you played some good teams throughout the entire season. That kind of gets you ready for, some adversity and close games in the playoffs?
Yeah, I would say battle-tested is definitely the phrase. We would have liked to get a few more wins in that non-league, but it kind of exposed us a little bit. We realized, what we need to fix, what we need to get better at, because that's what good football teams are going to do. So, playing Orange Vista and Grand Terrace, and then, obviously Talkwitz was a close one. And then getting into league, we had a close one with Patriot where we were in games where, could have gone either way. And, we've kind of been through that a few times. So that's what's nice is that, it's not like we've just rolled into the playoffs without ever having some adversity. Our kids have been through, a lot of adversity as far as just football goes. And yeah, definitely been battle tested. And what it's taught us is not to get down, right? We may be down a few touchdowns, but we're never out. So it's been definitely, going to lose some hair over it and some blood pressure and all that type of stuff. But it's been a ride, and we're lucky enough to be here, and we're just hoping we can continue this run.
We were looking at some video of that Quartz Hill game as well, and you talk about, not giving up and always fighting back, and that was obviously indicative, representative of your message about not giving up, clawing back against Quartz Hill and winning in double overtime. But, Coach, you talk about being, maybe it's stressful and those close games that come down to the wire, but how much fun are you having, especially with this group that maybe you thought, hey, we'd be really good in a year or two from now, but you guys are winning right now, and you guys are, in a great spot to maybe string together a couple more wins here.
Yeah, I mean, we joke around with it a lot because it's like all these big games, it's like every time we win, a close one at the end, it's like the first time our kids have won a game. They're just seeing their faces celebrating and, just so happy for each other and their teammates. It's been a lot of fun. And like I said, I'm hoping we can, continue this on and, have a few more moments like this.
And Coach, what a great story on your offense too, because again, I knew Matt Klein going into the season. I know he was a dude, and he was going to get a lot of carries and put some big numbers for Hillcrest. But Jason Flores stepping in to be your starting quarterback this season, and then we had a game on Riverside TV. I'm drawing a blank on who you were playing in that game. It might have been Ramona, and I saw Javier Sandoval. He's a sophomore, right? And I went up to him.
Julian.
What's that?
Julian Sandoval.
Yeah, Julian. I'm sorry, Julian. Yeah, and I was like, hey, how many touchdowns do you have this season? He's like, oh, no, that's my first one. And then he caught another touchdown. He's like, oh, that's my second one. Like, he was just like, he just like blossomed all of a sudden as like a big-time receiver.
Yeah, well, we saw it from him in practice, all summer, all spring. And that Ramona game was kind of his coming out party. He had a couple touchdowns there, and I think he's up to 9 now, and Trey Williams is having some big games too. He had 3 last week, so yeah, both of those guys have definitely stepped up, and it's been nice to have a couple weapons out there for Jason.
All right, Coach. Finally, finish this sentence. Hillcrest has to do blank well to get a win in the quarterfinals on Friday night at Diamond Bar.
Everything. We have to do everything well. Diamond Bar, like I said, they're a really well-coached football team. Really good, tough, hard-nosed players, some, a lot of athletes. So we're gonna have to do everything well. offensively, we got to score points. Defensively, we got to get some key stops, hopefully force a couple turnovers. And we're going to have to be sound in special teams and, just kind of, take care of the turnover battle, field position battle as well.
Well, Coach, it is a Riverside TV game. The TV crew going on the road out to Diamond Bar to check out Hillcrest this Friday night. So obviously we want Hillcrest fans to make that short trip out to Diamond Bar. But if you can't, you can watch it on Riverside TV. That's the City of Riverside on YouTube. And, Coach, I just want to personally say thank you. You're always so generous with your time for me, for the Inland Sports Show, for Riverside TV. You're always so good to us, and I really do appreciate it, Coach.
Hey, Coach, Pep, we appreciate you, man. Like I said earlier, the coverage we get in Riverside between you guys and Riverside TV, it's a unique experience for the kids, and I know they enjoy it. They like, going back and rewatching the game and seeing the broadcast, and it's really cool that we got this type of coverage for our high school athletics here.
Yeah, real quick. So we were at Ramona last week, and one of the Northview coaches came up to me and said, "Why don't we have this out there in that, the Covina, Laverne kind of area?" And I was like, I don't know. That's a good question. Like, we do it big out here in the IE. You guys need something like out there. But they were jealous that you guys get so much great coverage out here.
Yeah, no, we're spoiled now. I mean, we've had 3 games covered now, and they don't do it in every city. So yeah, us Riverside teams, we're definitely spoiled, and we definitely appreciate you guys.
And here's the good part, Coach. You keep winning, we'll keep doing more of your games. So again, going on the road this Friday night at Diamond Bar. That's a Riverside TV game, and I think they just turned the lights out on Coach. Oh, he's back.
Yeah, it's a motion sensor.
I've been there, Coach. It happens to me all the time. Listen, I really appreciate the time, Coach Carter. Good luck on Friday night, and hopefully we can talk again with you guys still alive in the playoffs for that CIF title.
All right. Hey, appreciate it, Pep. Thanks for all you do.
Yes, sir. That is Travis Carter, the head football coach for the Hillcrest Trojans here on the Inland Sports Show. Before we round out this segment, let's name our Inland Sports All-Stars for the first round of the playoffs. And Coach Carter had one of his guys on the list. He mentioned Trey Williams. He had a big game in the first round. And Trey Williams with over 100 yards receiving and a couple touchdowns in that big win against Quartz Hill in double overtime. Are we going to look at the Inland Sports All-Stars? Yes, we are. Johnny says, yes, we are. So we're going to take a look at the Inland Sports All-Stars. We usually do 5, but this week we are doing 6 because we had so many big games, and I appreciate you guys sending in your stats and your highlights each and every week, and we will continue to do this throughout the playoffs. So continue every Friday night or Saturday. We usually put the video together for the Inland Sports All-Stars by Sunday evening, so that's kind of your time window in terms of getting us the video. So, Johnny, if we got those Inland Sports All-Stars, let's take a look at them. We got 6 of them. We usually do 5, but we did 6 this week just because everyone had so many big games. In fact, I'm going to grab it on my phone right here. Let's see. Oh, he says we're not going to have it. But if you go to the Inland Sports website, we have it right now. I'm going to give a quick shout out to Manny Villa, Ramona receiver and kicker, Grand Terrace running back Xavier Oliver, Hillcrest receiver Trey Williams, we just mentioned him, San Jacinto QB Darian Dortch, Fontana wide receiver Xavier Todd, and Paloma Valley running back Steven Gallegos. All those guys, you can find them right now on the Inland Sports YouTube channel for that video. We got the Big Boost play of the week. Well, let's go to the Big Boost play of the week, and it was Manny Villa, one of the guys that we were just talking about. And let's set the stage. Ramona down 17-13, 34 seconds left in the game, 4th and goal. The season is on the line for the Rams, and they did this. Quarterback Nathan Johnson to Manny Villa, his 2nd touchdown of the game. That gives Ramona the lead, and that would be the winning touchdown as they won 27-17, shorthanded in the opening round of the Division 6 playoffs. What a game for Manny Villa and the Ramona Rams. That's our Big Boost play of the week. All right, we're going to take our first break tonight on the Inland Sports Show. When we come back, we're going to talk to the CIF Southern Section Division 2 volleyball champions, Vista Murrieta, next on the Inland Sports Show.
What up, y'all? Boost Man here, gonna break you off with a quick 2 cent. As a student athlete, you should always focus on what you can control, your effort and your attitude. Now, what does that mean? That means that your actions are consistent with the expectations of your coaches, your teachers, and your parents. You can't always control wins and losses, but through great effort and attitude, you control the preparation and the process, setting up the best opportunity for the best outcomes. Who's there?
Hey guys, this is Jason at Ken Sporting Goods. We're almost to 1,000 Instagram followers. Tell your friends, like us, come down, see us. Thank you so much for your loyalty.
If anybody deserves it, it is 73-year-old Dusty Baker. Congrats, Dusty.
Yeah, Dusty Baker was managing games like when I was a kid. Like he's been at it a long time. It was like almost 4,000 games managed and finally getting his first World Series. And I think a lot of people on social media were kind of saying the same thing. Dusty Baker, we are so happy for you, man. You deserve this. But we still hate you, Houston. You still suck.
Right. I love it. Hey, Dusty did it. Jaden, now you do it. Now you go IE on them.
He did go IE, man. So many people were going nuts on social media saying, yeah, that's the Cajon High School kid, Jaden Daniels. Dude, can you imagine beating Alabama? And welcome back to the Inland Sports Show, everybody. A big thanks to Travis Carter, the head football coach at Hillcrest, doing a lot of high school football right now as we go into the quarterfinals. But for high school volleyball, we are already into the state tournament. We have crowned CIF Southern Section champions. We had two in our Inland Sports Show coverage area, and here's one of them, the D2 champions, the Vista Murrieta Broncos. Congratulations, guys. We got Coach Taitano in the middle, Claire Little and I got to get this right, Catalan on the end as well with Claire. And Coach, first off, wow, Division II championships. Now, I know you guys have a state title in program history, but this was the first CIF Southern Section Championship. Is that correct?
That is correct. It's the first section title for our girls volleyball program at the school, and we're super proud.
So you win a Division II championship, and how long do you enjoy that before you say, okay, let's regroup, we're going to refocus, because we would love to add a state championship banner to that?
It's crazy because we didn't even have it was such a quick turnaround. Sunday came up. Everybody has family plans on Sunday and commitments. And then all of a sudden Monday we have one practice for 2 hours and boom, we're playing a home game for regional on Tuesday. It's just insane the amount of time that you have for preparation after winning something that we've never done before. It's mind-boggling.
All right, Coach, what an emotional roller coaster the last 4 or 5 days for this Vista Murrieta volleyball team. Before we get to Kat and Claire over there, you know, you win the Southern Section Championship, then you take on Alemany, the D3 champion from the section, and it looked like you guys were on the brink of having your season end, and then you battle all the way back to advance. I mean, what has the last 4 or 5 days been like for you?
Just immense. Like a lot of anxiety, a lot of stress. I mean, you said exactly what happened, but yet I don't think anybody has an ounce of appreciation unless you were in the gym. we got beat up bad on set 2. It was, I think the reporter, Eric, said it was like 15-1 on set 2. We lost it 25-10. They were on the verge of 24. They were on match point 24, and we're at 22 on set 3. And, you know, it just, we were able to turn it around a lot to the 2 girls and the whole team, the 2 girls that are on the interview today, just deciding to not really care about the points and to take moment by moment and to make the adjustments we were trying to coach them through. And I mean, these are the moments that you live for. So when we practice with a lot of chaos, a lot of repetition for situations that could possibly happen. The worst case scenario, and no doubt it was the worst case scenario that happened. And I'm going to give it up to Alemany, because they have no business being in Division 3. They are amazing. Amazing. I mean, hats off to the coach, to their team, super polished, super, skilled. And I'm going to tell you right now, this doesn't happen often, but I don't know. I don't think we should have won that match. It was pure emotion and gut that said, well, we're not going to give up today. And that started with Claire Little deciding, not today. I don't want my senior year to end today. And she rallied the team. The team saw her fire. We made the adjustments that we were communicating. I mean, talk about pulling every trick out of the hat for this match. We did it. We switched the middles. We switched the rotation. We pushed in subs. We pushed in subs that haven't really seen the court, and they stepped and rose to the occasion. And it's just a testament to what happens at practice and their commitment to the strategy. So as a head coach or any coach, or even a fan watching, to truly appreciate what the team did last night. And this is what's freaking me out. This was just last night. Just like the section title. It was like, that was just Saturday. It's like, no rest for the weary. We got to go up and play again. And my voice is still kind of, scratchy from it. And my wife and my family were saying, like, you would have seen your dad. He was so calm. I was like, no, I was screaming as much as I could from the sideline because it was so loud there. The energy from the students, the teachers, the fans. I mean, I can't appreciate enough of what they brought to the table to inspire and support us on this momentous change. I mean, I'm not kidding you. We should not have won that match last night. But by the graces of our will and the way we practice and the abilities of the girls, we were able to come out and do a reverse sweep.
Well, Coach Taitano, let me ask you this before we get to Kat and Claire here. Claire had 33 kills in that section championship game, and what she did last night, there's not a lot of Claire Littles out there. What has she meant for the program the last 4 seasons?
Wow. I don't know even where to begin. She's the kind of player that coaches dream to have at least once in their career. And I've had the opportunity to coach her for 4 years. And it all started with knowing her family, like at a young age. I know her mom, her brothers played for our team. I've been coaching their family. Both brothers I've coached in volleyball. And just her desire to compete, her desire, like, it's a hard concept to grasp. Athletes are most successful when they decide to not point the blame and just to figure out, I just want to play this next point and I want to do my best and I'm going to give it everything I have. It's one of those things where her character, her personality, her spirit of competition, it's something that leaders show by example, and she does it the best at. She won't yell at her team to dig the ball. She'll show you how to dig it at 6'3", hitting the floor. 6'3", hitting the floor, making it look like she's like perfectly comfortable rolling and diving. And this is a thing where you can only teach so much, but the spirit of the game is by itself something that I think is just, it's kind of in that person, it's in that soul. And it's one of those things where we connect so well that what I pay her the highest compliment when I say, like, she plays like a guy. Like, she's just super athletic, going all out. I mean, she will be there. You hit the ball 100 miles an hour, she'll sit on that line and dig it. You know, like, she'll lay out, and she loves it. And that's what motivates her. So to me, it's like, to have her for 4 years, and she's only made my job easier. And how has she done that? Because everything I've asked, she's done it 100%. You know, on tough days, she's coming out. She doesn't know how to go slow. She doesn't know how to give half of her energy, half of her spirit. And that, to me, is something that, like, I know when coaches hear this, it's one of those things that if you've ever had it, you'll want it. You'll want another kid to step up and give it to you. And you hope that that the other players that are left can feel that or know that, and they want to do it. And we can fail. That's okay. Mm-hmm. But how do we get back up, dust it off, and ready for the next ball? And I think if she takes that spirit with her to that next level, she's just going to be so amazing to watch. And I can't wait to see her there. So yeah, she's been an inspiration, an honor, you know, definitely gonna be missed when she leaves, when we have our last final match together. But I will be one of her top fans following along just to see how well she does, because I know whatever she decides to do, it's all in, and she's going to give everything she's got.
Well, Coach, hopefully that final match is still, a week or two away. You guys still have a couple more games in front of you. Let me go to Kat and Claire over there. And Claire, you were part of that 2019, state championship team. Just a freshman. You were just a baby at the time. Now you're a seasoned veteran. You're the senior, trying to do it all over again. But what has the last couple of days? I asked Coach the same thing. But what has the last couple of days felt like, just being able to win the school's first Southern Section championship, and then just a wild, crazy win last night to advance in the Division I state playoffs?
It was so unreal. There's no better feeling than that comeback was just crazy. And we were able to do it all together as a team. And that's just what made it so rewarding. How'd you feel?
Yeah, how'd you feel, Kat?
I was honestly really excited. As Coach said, that match, that second set, we all thought this is our last game playing together. But after us coming back third, fourth, and fifth set, I was just so excited. Okay, our season isn't over. We actually did this.
Kat, Coach kind of touched on this, but how do you keep that confidence? You go down 2 sets. How do you keep that confidence? Hey, we're good enough to battle back from any deficit. Is it a mindset? Is it something that you guys have just kind of, learned from Coach and taught yourselves in practice to be in adverse situations and still find a way out? What do you think it was, Kat, that kind of propelled you guys last night?
Coach talks he rubs off a lot of us on mindset, attitude, and a lot on body language. So I think that was a lot. Second set, we let our body language go down, our mindset just go down. But third set, we had that breather in between after that set, and I think that helped us a lot to regroup and reset. So I think just everyone building off of each other's body language and positive energy is what really helped us.
And Claire, let me go back to you as a senior. Obviously you want to go out with a bang, right? You want to win all these championships. But what do you feel like the goals, the expectations were for this team going into this season? Was it CIF title or bust? Was it, state title or bust? Did you feel like this was, you knew who you had in the locker room. You know how great your coach is. Did you feel like this team was kind of built to make a deep playoff run?
Every season we start off different than we end. I think that's normal for every single team. And the possibilities are just endless. And so the beginning of the season, I don't know that I would have thought like, oh, maybe we could go all the way to the end. But it just goes, every season just changes depending on how your season goes. But we certainly set ourselves up for that every year by playing those really competitive teams in the beginning of the season, which always seems to help us out every single year that we've done that. Even though we like could get kicked by them or like totally lose, everyone always like mentions to us like, oh, well, you guys lost in preseason. I'm like, well, look at who we're playing. Like, that's just the beginning. We're just getting started. Like, we're just warming up. We're filling each other out. And that's definitely what was a big thing for our last game, is we just feed off of each other so well. So,
you know, Claire, obviously you've been a stud for 4 years, but the last couple of games for you, is that the best volleyball you've played, do you think, in your Vista Murrieta career?
Honestly, I don't know. Definitely something possessed me yesterday. I'm not quite sure what, but you know, this team just means a lot to me, and I just wanted so bad to not finish my senior year like that. That was not how I wanted to go out, and I also wanted to show this team that they can do it, that we can win. And like Kat was saying, our energy was not great in the first 2 sets, and no one was really kind of responding because it was just so chaotic. And so I just decided, like, you know, the best way that I could help right now is by just playing my heart out. Like, and then in the end, if we would have lost, then we would have all felt like we played our hardest, because that's how you want to go. And I'm super glad it didn't happen and we ended up winning. But yeah.
And Kat, let me go back to you. You know, winning the Division II championship, the Southern Section title on Saturday night, you know, it's the first one in school history. What does that mean to you? What do you think it means to the school and its legacy to be that first team, the first, you know, Southern Section championship for the Broncos?
Honestly, I'm just like really excited that like it was our team able to bring that title home. Like, I think it just like means a lot to all of us, since like we had that COVID year and like a lot of us like didn't get the full high school experience. So the fact that we were able to like come back and like actually bring the first title home, and like for our seniors, like they get to leave knowing that like they actually got that title, is like really exciting for us.
Excellent job, ladies, on this interview. Excellent job this season. Hopefully you still have several games in front of you. Coach, let me go back to you to wrap things up. I mean, I feel like there's still a lot of season in front of you guys, and hopefully there's a couple more games and another championship to hoist at the end of the year. What do you think you guys need to continue doing, Coach, the next, we'll say, several matches to maybe win another state title?
Well, the first thing is obviously staying hungry in our appetite, in sense of competition. Also staying healthy. It's been it's been like the longest season ever, yeah. And we seem to have a lot of that. But I also wanted to touch on 2 points. One was that I think you need to get. I mean, I hope your audience understands the grasp of what Division II is. Out of 600 California teams in the Southern Section, and out of 520 teams that play girls volleyball, take Division I out, and they only take 8. That's what we won. We won Division II out of that. Now think of, there's just, those numbers are they're crazy. And then Kat, I don't know if you know this, but Kat has only been setting for like a year this season. So I meant, that's the stuff where, I mean, Claire is by far our captain, our leader, she's the one who, in her words, just wants to be known as the best teammate. I mean, she's making history. And Kat's right there in a piece with, I mean, like I have her, who's a junior, and our libero, who's amazing, and wow. Everybody else who in that sense has been contributing. And I don't want to take that up too much, but just to be able to do these sort of things, like make history, is huge. So it's trying to keep them motivated, healthy, and hungry for competition, to come out there on the floor and just remember that we're all human. We're going to make mistakes, but how do we get out of those mistakes with our body language and our mindset set to just play the best we can? just the best we can every single point.
It's funny, Coach.
And I think that's what will help us there.
If people are watching the broadcast, they see you on camera and talking, but I see all the Zoom camera shots, and I can say they genuinely like each other, Kat and Claire. Like, you know what I mean? Like sometimes they talk about this intangible thing about team chemistry and actually liking your teammates. I think they actually do. You should see them on the Zoom behind the scenes here. Were you going to say something, Claire?
Yeah, no, there is so much love for this girl right here and my entire. But you have no idea, from someone that tried to set in the beginning of the season, it is so hard, and she makes it look so easy, and we could not be the team we are and go as far as we could without her. And like, she is amazing. For learning a whole new position is not an easy task, and at this level. And you're so right. And me and her on the court, man, our energy there, it's unmatched. It's just so fun.
You guys are the best. That was so much fun. Coach, Kat, Claire, you guys are awesome. I hope you still have several more games in front of you. Congratulations on the Southern Section title, but hopefully you guys can bring home another state championship to Vista Murrieta. How's that sound, Coach?
Sounds wonderful. We're going to give it our best, and we're going to go after it.
Awesome. You guys are, listen, I really appreciate the time. You guys are the best. That was a lot of fun. Again, if you're watching on your screen, on my far right, it's Claire, then Kat, and Coach in the middle. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You got it. That's the Vista Murrieta High School volleyball team, your CIF Southern Section D2 champion, and now in the D1 state playoffs. Big win last night against Alemany, and hopefully the Broncos can keep this thing going. All right, we're going to take another quick break here on the Inland Sports Show. When we come back, we'll go inside the Lancers. We'll catch up with California Baptist basketball star Trinity San Antonio and head coach Jarrod Olson next on the Inland Sports Show.
I would say the one thing that we stress more than anything else is service to our customer. Make sure that they're taking care of whatever you can do to make sure that that order gets to them on time and it's the right quality and what they want. I've been that way since 1976. That was my goal, to reach out to local sports programs, and it's grown from there, and we've been very, very fortunate. My grandson is right over here. He's working for us, and he's going to college right now, and that's exactly what my son did 20-some years ago, and it keeps on going, you know. Customers that come in the store that it's amazing. People that I haven't been here since I was a little kid, and I used to come in here all the time, and then now I'm bringing my son in here, or a grandpa that's bringing his grandson in here that came in here when we first opened back in '76. We just feel so fortunate to have been a part of this community and this Inland Empire for going into our 44th year now, and it's just been a blessing.
Yo, what is up, everybody? We are here at the Boost Performance Center with the one, the only Coach Ray Bass with another gridiron question for you guys. And I'm excited about this one because everyone's talking about these NIL deals. That's name, image, likeness. Coach, what do we know about these NIL contracts, and how can we support a student athlete who might actually get one of these?
Yeah, I feel like with NIL, the reality of the situation is amateurism has been removed from collegiate sports. This is the new reality. This is the new law of the land, and no matter how you feel about that, this is the way things are. I feel like what we can do currently to prepare and support student athletes is provide financial literacy, and that starts right now in middle school and high school. I feel that this has always been a need for student athletes, but the new NIL laws has kind of pushed us to the forefront. Now, not every student athlete is going to walk out of high school with this major deal, but when you're playing collegiate sports, getting paid off your name, image, and likeness is a new reality. So financial literacy is super important.
All right, Coach, we're talking about a significant amount of money for some of these student athletes with these NIL deals. So what are you doing right now at the Bass School to maybe prepare some of your student athletes for something like this in the future?
Yeah, I'm actually really glad you asked, Pep. So this year we're actually piloting our new financial literacy program. So we've partnered up with Financial Fitness Group, and we're offering financial courses to our student athletes. And these courses are going to help them understand taxes, purchasing their first vehicle, credit, and also budgeting, and much more. I feel like NIL has created an urgency, and Bass Education wants to be a part of that solution.
Yeah, because again, we're talking about possibly a lot of money for someone who's pretty still, young if you're coming out of high school, dealing with a lot of money. So that's your Gridiron question this week. If you have a Gridiron question for Coach Ray Bass at some point in the future, make sure you find the DMs, make sure you're following Boost Training on all their social media platforms and send your question that he might be able to answer it on a future Gridiron question.
CBU basketball is the most exciting sports experience in the Inland Empire and the best value in Southern California. See every dunk, every magic play, and every win. Inside the beautiful CBU Event Center, Southern California's newest NCAA Division I arena.
Welcome back to the Inland Sports Show, everybody, as we go inside the Lancers with the California Baptist women's basketball team season opener this past Monday night against UC San Diego. And it was a big win for the Lancers, 84-76 to open up the season with a win. And Trinity San Antonio, the player in that picture right there, the pride of Centennial High School, a career high, 31 points for Trinity in that win. So let's go inside the Lancers. We're going to hear from head coach Jarrod Olson and Trinity San Antonio. All right, everybody, right now we're going to go inside the Lancers with CBU women's basketball coach Jarrod Olson inside the beautiful CBU Event Center. And what makes it even better, Coach, it's after a big win against UC San Diego. You guys really stormed back in the second half. Was there anything that you guys did at halftime, any adjustments that really you think was a big factor in the second half?
I don't know if I'd say adjustments as much as just emphasizing and just kind of reconnecting with our defense. We spent a lot of time in the fall talking about how if we're going to be good, we got to be good on that end. And we kind of lost our way in the second quarter. I think we scored 27 points. And then, the second half, we established a little bit of our identity, and things got a lot better from there.
Coach, with only a handful of returning players from last season and two of them didn't even suit up for this game, what did this win do maybe in terms of just building that camaraderie, the chemistry? I think Trinity called it your mojo. I think you like to use the word mojo a lot. But what did that do in terms of just a lot of new faces out on the floor and able to get a hard-fought win?
I mean, it's always good when you can kind of learn some things about yourself early and you're winning. There's going to be some moments where it goes the other way, and I think we're still just kind of trying to figure out who we are as a team. I mean, I think we're definitely on board with just knowing that we have to be good defensively. On the offensive side, it's going to be kind of like, we're still kind of growing through some things.
Yeah.
And we'll get there, but Trinity tonight just kind of like carried us. And I mean, she's right. She kind of like lit fire under everybody at one of the timeouts, and everybody came out and just kind of really picked it up and got our mojo back.
Well, speaking of Trinity and the mojo, I figured going into the game that she was going to embrace the role of providing more scoring this season, right? With so many great seniors having departed CBU from last season. But 31 in the season opener, and I think she had 10 rebounds, and she was great on the defensive end.
Yeah.
Was that her best game as a Lancer?
Yeah, I think so. I'd have to think about that. I did ask her afterwards. I said, is this your career high?
Yeah.
And she never scored that many points in high school. I mean, she played on such a great team.
Yeah.
Curry and
at Centennial, yeah.
Centennial, yeah. But we know she's got it in her, but I do think it's going to be a learning curve for her. It's a big responsibility to shoulder if you've never done it.
Yeah.
So tonight it was really great to see her do it. And I mean, we all believe in her a lot, and because she puts the work in. You know, she's one of the hardest workers, if not, she's the hardest worker on our team. You know, but one of the hardest workers we've had at CBU. And she just puts the time in, and so it's really great to see it pay off for her.
All right, we're joined by Trinity San Antonio, who just had a monster game against UC San Diego, the former Centennial High School star. And Trinity, we knew that you'd probably have an increased role this season because there was such a great senior class you guys had at CBU last year. But the game against UC San Diego, did you even surprise yourself how well it went for you?
A little bit. I think I looked up at the scoreboard. Somebody was saying in the crowd, 30-piece, 30-piece. And I looked up at the scoreboard, and I was like, that's kind of neat. But, yeah, didn't plan on it happening tonight, but it just felt good, so.
Well, going in, I mean, obviously you use Anna Oleda, Georgia Dill, Caitlin Harper, Brittany Thomas. That's a lot of scoring right there. So going into this season or going into this game, did you think, you know what, I'm going to take a couple more shots than I probably normally would because the team needs some scoring right now?
Definitely, and that's what Coach Olson always preaches. He said we have to be willing to take the shots if we want to make the points. So, you know, in the first half I was getting frustrated. The shots weren't falling, but when they were falling, they counted. So.
And there's so many new players on this year's CBU women's basketball team. How important was it for you guys to get a win against UC San Diego? Maybe just build some team chemistry, some confidence, some momentum, whatever you want to call that going forward.
A bit of mojo.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it was definitely important. You know, we have a long season ahead of us, a lot of big games. We played USC, U of A, so just building momentum, trying to get our toes going, our foot in the water a little bit, and building a mojo, like Coach Olson always says.
Is that his word?
Mojo,
Is that his thing?
Yep.
All right, that's Trinity San Antonio, CBU women's basketball star.
What's up?
So, Coach, you know, early on in the season, in this non-conference schedule, I think you were saying like the first 10 games of the year are important, right, to kind of figure out what your team's going to be about. You know, you can't judge your team after one game, but one game in the books, you got to win. What did you like about what you saw today that you feel like, okay, the next 9 or so games, we're going to be in pretty good hands?
Well, I like it after the fact that we kind of like got punched in the face a little bit. You know, and we got back on our heels and we didn't panic, and we kind of like were able to regroup, refocus, and kind of get back to a formula that was going to work. And just showing that resilience, I think, is a good sign, because there's going to be other games where we struggle. There's going to be other times where somebody plays really well against us, and we've got to find a way to kind of work through that stuff and kind of find our way through the game. And I thought we did a great job of that tonight. So I was pretty encouraged with that.
All right, so St. Mary's College, right, on Saturday. So those are the things that were encouraging. What are some areas that you're like, okay, between now and Saturday, we definitely have to clean up these areas?
I mean, we were a hot mess in the second quarter defensively, right? So I think that just kind of being a little bit more simple on that end. And then on offense, we've been a team that's really passed the ball really well over the years. And tonight there were some moments where there was some connectivity, but a lot of it was just more of like, we're just coming at you and hitting you between the eyes, right? And we need to get to where we're moving that ball around the perimeter, we're letting the ball find the shooter, and we're kind of playing 5 as 1. And we only had flickers of that. And so I think once we get to where the ball's really popping and the defense doesn't know where the shot's coming from, I think that's when we'll be at our best.
So that's exciting. You're able to get the win, but you still feel like, man, the ceiling is still way up here for this team.
Definitely. I think we do have some room to grow, and I'm pretty excited. It's a fun group. Obviously, the last 2 years we had kind of we had the same group of people, right? And it felt like over time, I mean, I think we all kind of were just exhausted at the end. And it's just been very refreshing to have a new group. We got a great attitude and a great, I think we keep using the word mojo.
Really,
it's a good energy and a good feeling about the team every day at practice. And you can just see it in the locker room. They genuinely care about each other, and it's just really exciting to see. It's fun to coach.
That's awesome. All right. That is Inside the Lancers with CBU women's basketball coach Jarrod Olson. Coach, congrats on the win today.
Thank you very much.
And we'll see you on Saturday against St. Mary's.
Lance up.
All right. And Coach Olson is all about that mojo. I guess that's his word, right? When you talk about confidence, momentum, it's about that mojo. And certainly the Lancers had that in that first win of the season against UC San Diego. That's Inside the Lancers with Coach Olson and Trinity San Antonio from CBU Women's Hoops. All right, let's take another quick commercial break here on the Inland Sports Show. When we come back, we're going to put a nice bow on the first round of the high school football playoffs. We got our Kins must-see game, the top games in the quarterfinals, and everybody's favorite, the Boost Top 25. That is next here on the Inland Sports Show.
What up, guys? Boost Man here at the Boost Performance Center. You're watching the Inland Sports Show with the one and only Pep Fernandez.
Calling all athletes. Make sure you're at your very best by training at Boost Performance Training in Corona. Whether you're a football player, soccer player, baseball player, lacrosse, athletes from all sports and all levels train at Boost Performance Training. Led by former Centennial High School football star Ray Bass, you'll develop explosive power, become faster, and add that lean muscle. Don't be left behind and get a leg up on the competition at Boost Performance Training. Visit boosttrainingsystems.com for information on their training programs and also on the Bass School. That's the Bass Alternative School for student athletes. Trying to earn a scholarship? Maybe make the varsity team. Get a spot in the starting lineup? Well, let Boost Performance Training help achieve your athletic goals. Here, and we're getting you all set for the quarterfinals of the high school football playoffs. Let's take a look at the Ken Sporting Goods must-see game. And as soon as we saw the winners in the first round, we knew this was going to be our top quarterfinal contest featuring two local teams, and it's a rematch from Ivy League action. Elsinore and the Rancho Verde High School going head-to-head. Now, on October 14th, which that's almost like 1 month to the day when they play on Friday night. It was Rancho Verde winning 35-28 in a big-time Ivy League contest. But as we saw with, for example, Citrus Valley and Cajon, it's tough to be a very good team twice in one season. We'll see if Rancho Verde is up to the task as they take on Elsinore, Division 8. Quarterfinals, the winner moving on to the semis, and it's going to be an awesome game. It was the first time around about a month ago. It's going to be another awesome game this Friday night. And we want to pack the Rancho Verde High School, but if you can't make it, here's your chance to watch it. It's going to be on Teen Vision, TV 16, live this Friday night, and we'll make sure we get the social media link out to you guys, so make sure you're following Inland Sports on Twitter and Instagram specifically, and we'll make sure we get you that link so you can watch the game Friday. That's Rancho Verde and Elsinore live on Teen Vision, TV 16. All right, so that's the Ken Sporting Goods must-see game, but we got a lot of big games in the quarterfinals coming up. Let's take a look at some of those other top games. We can't list them all, but here's some good ones. Centennial will open up the Division I playoffs at home against Mission Viejo. The Huskies had that first round bye in Division I, so they open up in the quarterfinals against Mission Viejo. If they win this game, And if St. John Bosco wins their game, Centennial will be at home for Bosco next week in the semifinals. Just want to put that out there. Try not to look too far ahead, but that's the scenario. In Division 2, Citrus Valley back home in Redlands taking on Chaminade. That is going to be an awesome game in Division 2. We'll see if the Blackhawks can keep it going after that big win against Cajon. In Division 3, listen, there's not a hotter team in the planet than Chaparral. The Pumas taking on Corona Del Mar in the D3 quarterfinals after a huge win in the opening round. Big blowout win. In Division 5, Aquinas coming off that shutout of Jurupa Hills. They are at home against Alemany, who beat Temecula Valley in the opening round in D5. Division 6, we told you about Ramona. They are moving on after that big win against Northview last week. Well, don't forget about the Jacks. San Jacinto at home against Oak Park in another Division 6 quarterfinal. If San Jacinto and Ramona both win this week, Ramona's got Calabasas. If they both win, it'll be Ramona at the Jack in the semifinals. That just blows my mind. That is the game. In Division 7, Paloma Valley continues its bounce-back season. They will take on Golden Valley, who beat Summit last week in the first round. And Division 9, Hillcrest going on the road to Diamond Bar. Listen, the Trojans won in double overtime against Quartz Hill, finding a way to win. We'll see if Hillcrest can find that magic again when they go on the road to Diamond Bar. So those are some of the top games coming up in the quarterfinals. And finally, let's take a look at the Boost Top 25 poll for this week. Not a big shakeup, but we did have some movement in the poll as Citrus Valley climbs to number 2 after that big win against Cajon in the D2 opening round. Chaparral moves up to number 3. Listen, Chaparral, I can keep going on, but if you beat Norco, Murrieta Valley, and Vista Murrieta, and San Jacinto all in the same season, you're good. You're really, really good. So the Pumas are at number 3. Cajon slides back just a little bit to number 4, followed by a couple big West Conference teams that are really good, but out of the playoffs right now in Norco and Murrieta Valley. Aquinas moves up to number 7. The Falcons alive in D5. Orange Vista, they saw their season come to a close in Division 4, but we got them at number 8. Ramona moves up to 9, and San Jacinto moves up to 10. Again, if those two teams win, they'll see each other in the semifinals. On the other side, it's a bunch of really, really good teams that saw their season come to a close in the opening round, but we do have some teams still alive. If you go farther down the list, we got Elsinore, we got Grand Terrace, we got Paloma Valley. So if you go a little bit farther down the road, Vista Del Lago, some teams still in the hunt for CIF Southern Section Championship. So we'll do the Boost Top 25 maybe another week or 2, because by the time we get to the championship round, we might only have 2 or 3 or 4 teams still playing at that point. So again, this Friday night, we got Ramona versus Calabasas and Hillcrest versus Diamond Bar on Riverside TV, and Rancho Verde taking on Elsinore right here on Teen Vision TV 16. It's going to be a great week of high school football. Big shout out to our director, Johnny Nunez, behind the scenes here at Teen Vision TV 16. My name is Pep Fernandez. I hope you guys have a great week out there. Stay safe. God bless you. And we will see you next week on your favorite show, the Inland Sports.